Good morning, folks. Here in my last morning in Tokyo, I'm actually going to be ordering a cab in a little over an hour and making my way to Tokyo Station to hop on a Shinkansen, which is fancy speak for bullet train, but hey there, it's Monday, July 27th, 2026, 8:31 a.m.'s the time, about 27 degrees Celsius, feels like 29 here in Kabukicho. Sorry, I always get crossed up over that. I see Leo is here, Medano, Mark D, Flick Hunter, J-Meds, Lalexis, Uptown Sunlight, Susie from TO, Alicia Lewis, Drew, Trini Murray, Lori, Tyler Jordan, John Rocks, Utterly Free, Marge is here, Susie, Pat 1967, Marcy Foster, Aya, and everyone else. Thank you so much for tuning in. I don't have a whole lot of time, but I'm pretty much packed up. I'm here at the Premium Apartment Hotel. I did manage to make a video and tour of this property, and I'll tell you how much it costs and show you where it is in relation to the subway and all that good stuff in an upcoming video that is already edited and uploaded. And once again, I am hand-holding the iPhone. So we're gimbal free. It's just a little more comfortable to stream this way, especially abroad. But let's get moving because I don't have a huge amount of time. There are elevators here. We're just taking the stairs down. Let's get on this camera. It should be a little more stable. I just finished my morning coffee last night. There were about a dozen fire trucks in this area, including a bunch that parked in this alley. There's where I'm staying. I'm up in one of those units. Looks humid in Tokyo. Yeah, it's about 27, but feels in the 30s. We got a bit of a breeze. I didn't bring my little fan with me. But we are going to head up to Okubo, Shin-Okubo to be exact, an area where I used to stay whenever I would come to Tokyo. The video I posted this morning is in the other direction behind me, that area. I'm going home to Toronto eventually, but I got some tickets for the bullet train at 11:30, and we have to check out at 10, so that seems like a good time to order a cab. There's 3 of us, we've got luggage. Getting to Tokyo Station would involve a transfer, so we're just gonna take a cab. Men's, I don't know what that is. Oh, I can't go there. 60 minutes travel campaign. I don't know why we're looking at that. That's just not something you see every day. My cash-free challenge has, for the most part, been a success. I've yet to use any cash. Although I did do some batting cage action using cash that I borrowed. I haven't been nearly as adventurous as I had planned. I thought maybe I would go to Kamakura. I also wanted to go check out Kichijoji, some places I've been to a long time ago. And there's some new places I wanted to visit, but with this weather and the heat and the rain, we've mostly been in this area. But it's all good. There's no right or wrong way to do Tokyo. Maybe I'll go up. There's a hotel I always used to stay at that I think closed down, the Empire Hotel in Shin-Okubo. I think I have time to get over there. Alfredo asks, how's my Japan trip going? So far, so good. I've had way too much sushi. I've had that 4 times at Sushiro and Kura. I went to a robot restaurant last night. You can see a picture of me taking food off of the robot on Instagram. It's not a very good picture, but it's the only one I had. Ken said he misses me. I doubt it. But it's 8:37 a.m., so Tokyo is waking up. That Don Quixote over there is absolutely huge. Trimaster says Sushiro. Sushiro is amazing. There was 3 of us. One was a kid, but we had everything we could possibly eat, including dessert. I had 2 beers. Someone else had an alcoholic beverage. Just plates stacked up to the ceiling. We get the bill and go to pay, and it's like $38. All right, let's cross here. Don't want to get in anyone's way. We'll take one of these alleys going up. Greetings, Chantel. So I'll try to go live once or twice from the next destination. I might even go live from the apartment we're staying at. Oh, there's some police. I'll keep the camera away from them. One of those guys was like vlogging. He had a phone on like a selfie stick. I wonder what the cops were talking to them about. But we have what should be a very good view from the balcony. So I'll see if we can chill there and just do a stream from that spot. You're saying that sounds like a deal. You want to hear a deal? The 3 of us were sitting around wondering what to have for dinner. So I asked Gemini, where's a fun place we can go for dinner with a 12-year-old? It doesn't have to be Japanese food. And it suggested this Italian restaurant. So we went there. We ordered 2 personal-sized pizzas, a carbonara, a spaghetti with meatballs. I had a couple of adult beverages. The other adult had an adult beverage. And I shit you not, it came to $14 for all of that food. Oh, look at this. This looks like an embassy or something. What a beautiful building. I cannot read that. I don't see any flags, so it's probably not. Italian in Japan. Everything in Japan is good. They have really high standards for food here. They've got the most Michelin-starred restaurants in the world in Tokyo. I want to go down one of these alleys, but I remember there's one coming up. That's like a commuter rail train. It's the Kabukicho Tower. Meanwhile, it feels like $140 for our Japanese friends. Yeah, I don't mean to seem insensitive. There's a lot of foreigners working here who aren't just quite making what they used to with the devalued yen. I've talked to a number of other tourists at places, and that seems to be a theme everyone keeps bringing up. Where's our friend Lisa? Look at that, we have some street art. That looks like a JR train. Would that tower be like the CN Tower? No, that would not. They have a Tokyo Tower and the Tokyo Skytree. Those would be your closest. Oh wow, a cat cafe. Look at that. Hey, it doesn't even know or care. Look in the camera, dude. All right, I'm gonna take a peek at Google Maps here. I know Hotel Empire was just up here somewhere. Just trying to bring up some old memories. Hotel Empire. Where is it? Haven't stayed here since like 2013. And I think I can go right here. I know Vivian sometimes likes to request to see where and how locals live. Well, these are the kind of streets where they do. Often when I travel, I'm so fixated on all the big city action, I don't wander through areas like this too often. More trains going by. Did I hear the Billy Bishop expansion plans were nixed? I did. And ultimately, I think that's a good idea, or a good thing. Well, I do think Billy Bishop could be expanded somewhat the way the province wanted to do it. I think was overkill and would have had far more detrimental effects than just following due process and doing things normally. Maybe I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, but it's a good thing ultimately. I guess if you went to Japan, you'd be going through the rural parts and going to the mountains, towns, and cities. Sadly, I've only done that a few times. I've been here about a dozen times in total. And it was in my earlier trips where I was very adventurous. Same thing with Thailand. People say, why do you keep going to like Bangkok and Phuket, the same few places? Well, I didn't have a YouTube channel back when I was running all over the countries. Last day for Tokyo. I'm wondering if I missed the spot. Let me see. Oh, I already kind of walked past it. Oh well. Vasily here, member for 20 months. Thank you, Vasily. Thank you for 20 months of membership. Cheers. Oh, let's go this way. Shin-Okubo station on the famous JR line, which basically runs in a giant circle. I kind of wish I did a walking video exploring this area. It is pretty awesome. Oh well, at least we've got this. Lisa, you missed some pretty neat street art earlier that I zoomed in on from across the street. Got a rail corridor on the right. I'll try to do a little more exploring like this in the next city. How's the weather down here? Down here, more like over there. It has been hot, but I understand that it's been hot in Toronto as well. I think I picked a good time to not be in Toronto because A, it's not really any hotter over here. Everyone always says Japan is so hot in the summer, and it is, but I'm not really missing any hot water or weather. But also, it looks like there was just another weekend of 10 billion festivals. So it's kind of nice to not be doing the same thing over and over and over again in Toronto. Yeah, Ozfest is a cool festival. Look at that. But I was going a little stir crazy already. Every weekend I check the calendar. Oh look, 50 million festivals to cover. So it's nice to get a break from that. They're advertising some kind of cosmetic service. Thought that might have been an apartment hotel. At least says if I do the same thing over and over again and don't want to, that makes you a wee bit crazy. That is correct. I don't know. Being away, I'm sure I'll go back and record a few more festivals. And it's not like there aren't other people in Toronto. There's 10 million other people recording them, so. It is what it is. I'm starting to remember why I liked staying in this area so much. There's so many little restaurants and places you can just duck into. Like, there's a little bar down here. Grab some food, get hammered. A+ neighborhood right here. There's some street art. You went to the Philippines in the summer last year. You're from Toronto. It was kind of missing the best time in Canada. Better go in the winter. I'll generally go to Asia and Southeast Asia. In the winter or colder months at least as well. This place is excellent, the Coco Curry House. No smoking on the street. Yeah, Drex, when I lived in Korea, I used to go to that chain all the time. All right, I'm going to cross the street and we're going to go in the other direction and head through the heart of Koreatown here. I think these blue hashes on the ground here are for bicyclists, if I'm not mistaken. Tiana Meow says, I love Japan. Well, I'm sure Japan loves you back. Hey Johnny, good to see you out and about in Tokyo. How about we wrap up this walk with some of those amazing Tokyo-style souffle pancakes with ice cream? There's actually a place that has really good versions of that where I'm heading to after this, although it's not Tokyo. One dish I am waiting to have that I'm going to save for the next destination is okonomiyaki. It's one of my favorite foods of all time. There's like the Osaka Kansai style and Hiroshima style. I'm going to try to have one of each. There's someone watching over my shoulder, looking at me. And we've got 424 people tuning in. Thank you guys. It is what, Sunday night there? So we'll be doing this in lieu of the Sunday night stumbles. What time is it? 7:56. And every day at this time, my watch rings to tell me to wake up because it thinks it's 8:56. talked about how awesome the bike parking is here. That girl just put her bike in there. No lock, nothing. I don't know if I told this story before, but my buddy left his bike in Korea once. He had this custom-built fixie bike he brought from Minnesota. He was my roommate, actually. And he took it out one night drinking, left it on like a pole, completely forgot where he parked it, couldn't find it, ended up getting really sad over it, so he ordered a brand new bike in Korea that cost him a few $1,000s. And then while he was riding around on his old bike, or on his new bike, he saw his old bike just sitting there, and apparently it wasn't locked up. So his bike survived weeks and weeks just sitting at a post in Seoul, and nobody touched it. In Toronto, I would give that thing 5 minutes. All right, we walked by the other end of the station. Epic Nation HD says not even 2 minutes or less. Anyways, I want to thank everyone for tuning in. We got 468 viewers. This isn't going to be a super long live stream, as I got to get running at some point. I'm probably going to want to shower and change again, as I'm about to get on a train. D Boutique 617 member for 52 months. Loving the Japan videos. Have a fun stream. Johnny, thank you so much. And thank you for 52 months of membership. Holy shit. Thank you again. Arigato. Speaking of which, if you want to support what I do, there are links to my Patreon and YouTube channel membership down in the description. Tiani Meow says, Japan is my dream destination. You haven't been and you're in your 30s? No shame or harm in that. When I was 27, I had never left North America. And I'd only ever been on a plane a dozen or so times. But that's one of the reasons we're here, because the people I came with, I mean, the one kid's in school, and they really didn't have any other chance throughout the year to go to Japan, and this was where they wanted to go. So even though summer is not ideal, when you have that window of opportunity, you got to take it sometimes. So that's what they did, and that's why we're here. So Tiana, I recommend when you have the opportunity, don't wait, pull the trigger, because you don't know if that's going to come up again. Life's too short to be waiting for something to happen for you, right? But definitely come, plan a few days in Tokyo at least, or alternatively Osaka. Ideally both. There's a Don Quixote. They don't like you recording in these stores, but they have everything. This store is going to be huge. Jeanette says to enjoy a meal at your next destination. Well, Jeanette, the next destination is going to be a bento box counter at Tokyo Station before the Shinkansen, but I will assume you mean tonight, so thank you so much, Jeanette. Arigato. I'm looking to have some Wagyu beef on skewers tonight. All right, there it is. Carolyn, holy cow. Something for the train. Thank you, Carolyn, so much for the $10 super chat. And thank you to Jeanette as well before that. Thank you, Carolyn. Arigato. We just walked by the McDonald's, right? Oh, there it is. So I dragged my friend Jason from Seoul. We had like a 4-day layoff. I think I told this story before. And we went drinking in Roppongi. And he got dragged into one of those kind of suspect clubs by one of the touts. And I did not want to go with him. If you've been to Roppongi, you probably know what I'm talking about. We were both pretty hammered. It was like 2 a.m. I went to this place called Gas Panic, this club where, you just meet a bunch of people, hang out. It was fun. But we parted our separate ways around 2. Around 3, I decided I'm going home, but the subway wasn't running. So I got into a taxi. Well, I fell asleep in the taxi, and the taxi driver didn't know what to do. So he just parked the cab and sat there. And I ended up waking up around 6 a.m. And then he was like, okay, where are we going? And he left the meter running the whole time. So he takes me to that McDonald's because that's right around the corner from the hotel I was staying at 6 a.m. I pulled out my credit card and the taxi meter bill was about 200 Canadian dollars. Rightfully so, I deserved it. But it's funny because right as I stepped out of the taxi, my buddy Jason steps out of the McDonald's with his breakfast. And we were in the same hotel, so he's like, where the hell have you been? I was like, oh, you don't want to know. And he's like, you don't want to know what I was up to. But it was just funny. We both went our separate ways in the middle of the night. Both had a pretty wild tale. I'm sure mine was a lot more G-rated than his. And then we ended up running into each other right at that McDonald's at the exact moment. Transit mobile scooter from the roommate and I. Safe travels, Darren. Thank you so much, Darren. Cheers to you. Arigato. And thank you to your roommate. There's a big pachinko parlor. Oh my, what? Thank you again, Darren. In the world of the TTC, this is very common, but in Japan, something is amiss. There is just a train chilling. These trains run by the second, so clearly there's some kind of delay. I bet if you checked your Japanese transit apps, it would tell you there was a delay. Oh, now it's moving. You're just one stop, I think, from Shinjuku Station here. 20-25 minute walk, one stop. It's a very awesome area to stay. Sorry, Lisa, it's not your style of street art. I don't know, maybe you're a fan of the cutesy stuff. Tana says this is very TTC of Japan. Well, we like to shit on the TTC a lot, but I met some dudes from Germany, and they were telling me that German trains are the absolute worst. One of them had been to Toronto, and he was like, I like the TTC. I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, you have never ridden a German train, my friend. You will buy your ticket, show up on the platform, and 1 minute before it comes, it'll be canceled, and you'll have no other options. I was like, oh, maybe it's not so bad in Toronto. You know you're in Koreatown when you see a place called Jongno. It's a great place to stay if you're ever in Seoul. Did the Toronto Blue Jays win earlier? I think it's time for the Jays just to start focusing on next season and their fans. So walkable, so clean. Got a lot of cute little apartments and houses the further you go. Shaved bingsu. I am not a bingsu fan. Lisa says the grass is always greener. Indeed. I consider my bitching and moaning about Toronto Transit to be constructive criticism. I'm just a guest here, but I have very little to critique. The biggest thing I don't like about Japan is completely out of their control. That's the weather. You might notice a lack of bicycle infrastructure, but it's amazing when you have drivers who drive safely. You don't need bike lanes. You really don't. Everybody goes the speed limit. Everybody yields to anything that moves. If you get hit by someone going that fast, you're not even getting hurt barely. I think Not Just Bikes talked about that when he came to Japan. We have such stupidly aggressive drivers. You don't even realize it doesn't have to be the way it is. Justin, in exactly 1 week, I'm going to be in Vancouver. Awesome, Justin. I hope you enjoy it. Vancouver is, no offense to any Vancouverites, a really neat little town. But thank you, Justin, for the support. For you, Cosme, I know there's a cosmetic chain. Miss Airline Cafe and Bar. I'm guessing all the waitresses dress up as flight attendants. Just based on my knowledge of Japan, I'm assuming that's exactly what's going on there. K-pop Boys Cafe and Bar. Again, if you're wondering why it's not quite as stable as my other streams, I am just hand-holding the camera. We're using software stabilization. Japanese parking lot. This probably wouldn't work in North America because half the people drive monster trucks. And we just curb hop those things. Is Subway in Japan a restaurant chain? You know, I haven't seen it. I think the reason Japan's drivers are so much better is the fines for breaking traffic laws in Japan are massive and strictly enforced. I think that is just generally the case for everything. That's why you could walk into a cafe and leave your laptop on a table and no one's going to touch it. It's a combination of respect for the environment, respect for other people, and laws that will seriously fuck you up if you break them. We have a lot to learn. I don't care if you commit a petty theft. You should be paying a very, very steep price for that. Because what's the deterrent if it's just a light slap on the wrist? Same with driving. Dubai latte and coffee. Slow down so we could read the restaurant menu. I've got to get going back to near where we started at some point. I've got a 10 a.m. checkout and I probably want to shower. I have to go into a Japanese 7-Eleven. Oh, I've been in many. I'm actually more of a Lawson guy. Speaking of which, there's a Lawson. What I want to do is make my way back down. Let me just grab a peek at Google Maps. See, where am I? All right, so this alleyway here is going to be my last chance to go in this direction. Trying to avoid the major streets. I've done enough major streets this trip in Tokyo so far. All right, so this place isn't cheap. 300-gram steak, that's about $100. That's a little more reasonable. That dish there is about $14. I love it. They're more Canadian than we are. I almost stepped in front of a cyclist. He just looked at me and bowed his head and said, sorry. It's like, what? That was entirely on me, man. Chinese restaurant. Jungsung. Cute little coffee shop. Aw. There's a little doggy in there. Wheatland. 5032 with the super. Thank you, Wheatland. Cheers to you. Thank you for the $10. Thank you so much. And while I've been tuned out of most of what's going on back in Canada, I'm completely off Reddit these days, literally. I'm just doing YouTube and Instagram moving forward. Unfortunately, I got wind of the fact that Lorena, one of Jeff's friends, someone who has often been in his streams, and I've had the pleasure of meeting her and hanging out with her a number of times, she lost her son last week in a drowning accident. I think he was 17, so condolences to you, Lorena. Absolutely heartbreaking stuff. Aya2473 sent one Johnny Strides gift membership. And Johnny, I can't read your whole name here, received, Johnny, sorry if I mispronounced that, received a gift membership. Thank you, Aya. Arigato. Thank you so much. And welcome aboard to our new member. Oh, they have limes here. Yeah, I don't want to try to tell a story as to what happened with her son because I don't exactly know. And I think Liam got the gist of it with his comment. Quaint little residences. Look at that. Aya, $1.99. Thank you, Aya, as well. Or again, cheers to you, arigato. And this combination of Freedom Mobile and Kudo is holding up in Japan. Who would have thunk it? Okubo Elementary School. That's what this is. Look kind of like a school. A lot of their homes and apartments kind of resemble our laneway homes. Which is very space efficient. How old is Johnny? He will be 46 in a few months. Dental clinic. Oh, wow. Technically, photography and video recording is not permitted on private property unless you have permission. So I'm going to stand in public here, but look at that bonsai tree. That is stunning. This is not a dump site for public. Please bring back your own canned garbage. I'm guessing there's like an Airbnb in there. And some ignorant foreigners were dumping their trash, hence why the sign is in English. Just a hunch. It's for all the Westerners making a mess. Yeah, in Bangkok, you'll often see signs like that in Chinese. George says, I follow Jeff and Lorena. You're so sorry she lost her son. Yeah, there's no words for that. That is just truly, truly tragic stuff. Well, maybe in the next destination, I'll hop into one of the batting cages on a stream like I did in Tokyo in the past. Are there frequent garbage cans to be found, though? No. So occasionally you'll see some stuff like this, but this is kind of a drinking and nightlife hub. You will rarely see trash and stuff like that elsewhere. And even then, that was kind of respectfully littered, if that makes any sense. There's the enemy, 7-Eleven. Boo. Boo. You suck. You suck, 7-Eleven. That's the real shit. Actually, they're both pretty great. Well, I made that lap of the area a little quicker than maybe I planned on it, but better early than late, I guess. I'm gonna head into the Lawson, buy some drinks for my trip. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do a video doing the Shinkansen experience. I've already done one, maybe. We'll see if Owen is up to co-starring in the video. But I will go live again at least once more this trip, possibly twice more. Sorry, this one was a bit short, but at least I was able to squeeze it in. I was a little worried I wouldn't have time, but I didn't sleep in too much. I got up, got breakfast for everyone. By the way, the McDonald's app here is awesome. And their coffee's not so bad. So I want to thank everyone so much for tuning in. I want to thank our mods, Patreon supporters, channel members, everyone who sent support. Jeanette, Carolyn, keeping me well fed for the hours to come today. But I'm going to head into Lawson and buy a bunch of snacks. So stay tuned for the next destination in Japan. And I'm kind of regretting not doing more streams and videos like the route we just took, because there was a whole lot of awesome parts of Tokyo, that was awkwardly worded, that I haven't really explored much in my videos here, and I kind of wish I did, but oh well. There's always more to cover. I'm sure I will be back. But again, thank you guys so much. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell, leave a comment. Tell me where you might like to see me go next. Thumbs up. I'd say go Jays, but no. That might be a lost cause at this point. Marg D says hello and yoink. Aya, $2, another super. Aya, you gifted a membership and you've been raining supers. Arigato, Aya, thank you oh so much. From Shinjuku, I guess more specifically Higachi Shinjuku. I will catch you guys on the next one. Yoink. Toronto video tomorrow. And then some more Japanese videos. Thank you guys.